All right, this is the Boys Down Bad podcast, and we now welcome on now Nebraska Football commit. He is the highest-rated football recruit from Lincoln in nearly 2 decades. It's none other than Malachi Coleman. Boys, give it up. Malachi, thanks for being on, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
My first question for you is, where'd you get your suit for signing day? Because you were looking good, man. You were looking good.
We picked it off this site. My mom let me pick it, and it got shipped from Turkey.
From Turkey?
Turkey?
Yeah.
I might have to get one of those.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, you were looking fresh.
I might use it for prom, too.
There you go. Absolutely.
I'm sure the ladies won't like that.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
I didn't go to prom last year, so I think I got to go this year.
gotta.
Absolutely.
Yeah, gotta go.
Got to show out. So let's go back to signing day. What has it been like since you signed with Nebraska? Has the support from Husker Nation been crazy? Have people been reaching out to you? What's it been like?
I mean, the support was already there even when I wasn't committed. It's just grown continuously a lot more. And I know that since I'm from here, everybody's going to want a piece of me. So
Yeah,
it's kind of just been like that.
Absolutely. So you said, a couple months ago that, you weren't going to come to Nebraska, and Mickey kind of flipped you. So what's so special about Mickey? Why is he the guy right now? And why do you have so much trust in him going forward in the future?
His relationship building skills are amazing. Like, I trust him. Like, I'll go to war for that man right now if you ask me to. Like,
I love it. That's what the players seem like too. Like, they love him. Like, I know we're not doing great right now, but it seems like everyone's supporting him, and they, like you said, they go to war for him.
Yeah, like, he don't BS you. He's straight up honest with you. He'll give it to you how it is, whether you want to hear it or not. And that's the type of coach that I appreciate.
Love that.
So before Mickey really came into the picture, you probably talked to Frost a little bit. You probably weren't going to come here if it was just Frost and Mickey was like out of the picture. What I guess what I'm saying is, like, what was Frost like? Was he a good recruiter? Yeah. Did you know him very well or what?
I like Frost. I never had any bad interactions with him. He was nice to my family. So, I mean, he was a good guy, but I definitely would have probably gone somewhere else.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
That makes sense. I was thinking, growing up, you see, and obviously we could talk about, all the schools that are reaching out to you, but, you see these coaches, like for you, like the Kirby Smarts, Jim Harbaugh's, like schools that contacted you. Putting myself in those shoes, like growing up, watching them on TV, seeing them on ESPN, like what's it like when they reach out to you and they're like, we actually think like you could make an impact in our program? Like, is that just insane?
I mean, at first it was really weird. I think my first overall offer was UNI. I got offered by Joe Gans. He used to play here.
Joe Gans, quarterback. Yeah.
I
remember him in the Texas. Was that the Texas game? We lost on some bullshit call.
Yeah,
probably.
Added 1 second back.
Yes, was that it? Yeah.
Oh, he was quarterback then?
No, I think it was here in Lincoln. I was at it. It was like a fumble or something. Do you remember, Chris? Yeah, look that up. Fact check. That's our fact check guy.
Well, I remember after that conversation, I looked at my mom like, I don't gotta pay for college.
That's got to be an insane feeling.
Yeah, it didn't matter for me where it was at that point. Like, I just knew that I was good enough to play D1 ball, and at least one person saw it in me. And if that was gonna be my only offer, that was gonna be my only offer. I was gonna take it.
Was there a moment where you kind of realized like, oh shit, like this is real, like I can do this? Was it that moment when you got offered by UNI?
There was a span. I ran a 10-4 in the 100, where I picked up about maybe 12 offers within 2 weeks.
Jeez.
Yeah,
phone just blowing up.
Yeah. I mean, the next week I picked up 2 offers on the same day from Oklahoma and Michigan, one at night, one in the morning. Like, it's just like that. And I was just kind of blown away. Like, these programs, these powerhouses, is people that I wanted me. And it was crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine, like Jim Harbaugh calling me up like, hey, you should come down to Michigan. Yeah. But
it was weird. I have a little story about that, but
yeah,
I went to
share if you want.
I went to the Michigan Ohio State game for a visit last year.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
It was freezing, first of all. Man, you could feel the energy in that stadium. Like,
oh yeah, because that's when Michigan beat them.
They get that once
I
a
forgot
year.
about that.
They get that once a year, and it's special. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The next day we had breakfast with them,
Nice.
I didn't know that his brother was the head coach of the Ravens. Like, I don't pay attention
Yeah.
to the NFL that
Yeah.
much, but I'm a Steelers fan.
Okay, that was one of my questions. Was do you have an NFL team?
Yeah, no, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm like, you should just root for the Steelers, just to
Yeah.
get at him. He's
Yeah.
like, he kept trying to give me second chances. I'm like, nah, go for the Steelers.
I love that.
Yeah. But I like my Michigan visit. It was good. I brought my fam up with me. They liked it too. But I'm not going somewhere colder than where I'm ready yet.
Yeah, I feel that. So speaking of like recruiting visits, do you have like an insane recruiting story? Like, is that your biggest moment? Like when you went and you're like, oh, like you weren't expecting them to do this, or they just did something crazy for you?
Well, I was at Oregon for a visit. I was with Colton Vasek. He just flipped from OU to Texas today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's quite the flip. Oh, you
yeah.
to Texas.
He's a
Yeah.
big boy too. Like, yeah, he's about 6'6", like 240. He's a DA.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Where was we? We were with Austin Powers. He's an offensive lineman for Oregon, and it was like 2 a.m. I was supposed to be home at 12. Like, I'm a hotel. I had a flight the next morning at like 6. My dad's calling me. I'm like, where you at? I have no idea, man. Yeah, I'm sitting there like, hey, I have no idea. Like, you gotta come get me at some point.
Yeah. You got to soak that in, though. That's once in a lifetime.
I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
We having fun at the apartment, everybody. Yeah. I eventually got back. I went to the airport. I wasn't feeling good, so I started throwing up in the bathroom.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, yeah, came right out. We got on the flight, slept all the way to Colorado, then got up, fell asleep back again in Lincoln.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Hey,
It's a quick turnaround, but it was fun.
Absolutely. That's a good memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we mentioned you're the number one recruit in Nebraska. What is it like the recruitment process like with so many offers? I mean, the list of offers goes on and on. What's it like just kind of navigating through all these schools? Because it seems like everybody wanted you. Everybody wanted at least you to come visit. What's it like kind of navigating all of those offers?
Well, I mean, I kind of had to narrow it down to at least a couple positions I wanted to play. I knew that I didn't really want to be a tight end because I didn't want to put on that much weight. I knew that a defensive end might not work out because how much weight I'm going to have to put on for that too, and I'm not sure. I'm not trying to get tossed around, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, down in them trenches, they get serious, and I watched a lot of film on that. And then coaching staff too was a big part of it because like I know that not every coaching staff is gonna be there, but I gotta have one guy that I could trust, like 24/7. I can call him up any time of the day. He's gonna be there for me, and that's kind of what Mickey gave to me. Like I could walk in his house any time of the day, and I know that him or his wife's gonna be there with his kids. Like that's my family too. Like his family's my family, and my family's his. That's just kind of how it is with me and Mickey.
Yeah, and kind of just piggyback off. I mean, Mickey is getting all these recruits. He's doing a hell of a job as the interim head coach. What is it that like makes him? Obviously, you said it's pretty much your own family, but what is it that makes him such a good recruiter and able to get all these guys?
He has an amazing reputation. Obviously, he's got 2 people in the NFL that are tearing up right now, and he's trying to make more. And he came from lower D1 coaching as a head coach.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it as a receivers coach at LSU. Turned that into a powerhouse. Now he's coming here. I already know that we got some recruits coming in from Louisiana. They're gonna tear it up too. We got people from Florida carrying to tear it up. We got people from all over. Like we coming in. My class especially, we hot. And we're not done either. We got some more coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we like
Love
to
to
hear.
hear.
Keep
Love to
talking.
hear that.
Keep
Yeah.
talking.
The 12-0 that we ran through is.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this and I'm just buying in even more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all in. It's
What
got
was-
to be a good feeling like, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Mickey had a quote. Actually, I was stalking your Twitter today, doing my research, my professional research. You have it as your header now. Don't wake what is it? They don't want this giant to wake up.
Yeah.
One of the very
That's
first
awesome.
conversations I had with him, he said that, and I made it as my header, but I didn't want to make it known that it was Mickey that said that because everybody
yeah.
just assumed right away. So I just had the quote, and then once I committed, then I added Joseph at the bottom, so everybody knew it was him.
Yeah.
And then he said later on in the interview, said everybody they don't want this fucker to wake up.
Yeah, I
Yes.
did hear that.
We love that.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
So you kind of talked about how, different schools were wanting you to play different positions. And obviously, I'm sure you're down to play, DN, wide receiver, whatever.
Mhm.
Is there a spot that you get the most enjoyment out of, or that you like playing the most? Is it DN? Is it wide receiver?
I mean, naturally, I can catch the ball really well, so
Yeah.
I like receiver a lot, but I also like hitting people.
Yeah.
So.
Love that. I love watching you block. I was also stalking your Twitter, and
Yeah.
that pancake block you had, that I don't remember who
I think
put it
Northeast.
at. Was it Northeast?
Yeah.
You destroyed that
I
guy.
mean, some people, when they're a receiver, they don't see it as a job. When you got to block somebody, they see it as, I have to. I see it as I get to.
I get to. Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm about to take you. Let's have a conversation. It's about 15 yards.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Crazy thought that I had. You got offered by Jackson State, right?
Mhm.
Did you talk to Coach Prime? Did you get to talk to him?
I don't really talk to Coach Prime
Okay.
much. I talked to can't remember his name. I hope he
Yeah.
don't watch this.
He probably will watch
Nah,
this.
he stopped
Yeah,
on Twitter. He might. They were trying to get me down. I was actually gonna go visit, but HBCU rules is different. So like they're only allowed to play for like, the player to go down.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't take care of my family. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah. I feel
Like,
that.
I got 5 of these visits I can take officially. I'm not gonna waste one on one. I can't take my whole family on.
Yeah. I feel that, but
Is there any chance he comes to Nebraska?
Man, I hope so.
That'd be
like
awesome. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
You should work on it.
yeah, we'll see.
we'll work on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Yeah,
we got
leave that to
connections
us. Yeah, we
everywhere,
got you.
so
And kind of just going off family, I know obviously watching your commitment, obviously family is a huge thing to you. How much does that really weigh into the whole process? Obviously, I think you said like no matter what, your family's going to be there, but how big is it just like having family, just down the road? It's not a long drive to Memorial. How big is that? Just kind of knowing family can come to every single game.
I know exactly where they're gonna be at too. Like I'm not gonna have to worry about it. Like I'm not even gonna have to look up there. I'm gonna know they're gonna be there. Like every single game, I know they're gonna be there for me. They haven't missed a single high school game for me. They haven't missed a single midget football game for me. None of that. They've always been there for me.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And obviously you've had a really inspirational story. Do you want to share a little bit about that, or
Which part?
just growing up, going through foster care, and your parents
Yeah,
kind of taking you in?
My pops died when I was young, so he wasn't ever in my picture. My mom was a drug addict and alcoholic, so she was never really in the picture either. So we were homeless. I was taking care of my sister. We mostly lived off of garbage and stuff. Just we find out in the back of gas stations and stuff, just whatever we can get our hands on to eat. One day my mom dropped us off at a stranger's house. She said she'd be back, and that's the last time I ever saw her. Eventually they called the cops because they had 2 random kids they were trying to deal with. It was. I still remember getting into the back of that cop car, and my sister's in the booster seat next to me. I had no idea what's gonna happen to us.
Can't even imagine that.
Yeah. So we ended up in Lincoln. We're from South Dakota, and we ended up in Lincoln, going into the foster care system. And we got put with the foster family. It's actually like 3 blocks away from where I live now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're in the same neighborhood. Then they only wanted to keep one of us. I only wanted to keep my sister, but the system wanted to keep us together. So we got moved to another foster home out in New York. And that father was abusive. He ended up throwing me through a wall, and then the neighbors heard the altercation and they called the cops. So we got emergency removed from there. And then my last foster home I was with before I came here, they had 16 kids of their own.
Wow.
And then they had a foster kid plus me and my sister. So it was about 19 kids in total. Yeah, that place was fun.
A lot going on.
Yeah, the dad was a pastor. It was fun. They had their own church. Everything was always fun around there. Something to do, everybody. But, I mean, they got a lot of people to take care of, so I knew they wouldn't be able to take care of us. So we eventually got moved here. At that point, I wasn't expecting to stay. It was just stay about a year, then you got to move, uproot. So I was ready to get it over with.
Yeah,
at that
absolutely.
Point, I'm
absolutely.
back. And then we stayed with them for my family I'm with now for about a year before they adopted us on adoption day, and then I've been with them for about 7 years now.
That's an awesome. I mean, it's a terrible story, but awesome that you.
Yeah, you jerk.
Yeah, no, sorry, I did not. Awesome that you've come through all that, where you are now, and how your family took you in and gave you everything. You're excited that you're a Husker. It's gonna be good. You talked. I wanted to ask you about your NFL team. You're a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
They're struggling right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Not doing great.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu. I remember picking up his jersey at a garage sale when I was at my second foster home. I'm like, this is my team.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it. Hey, I mean, Tomlin's been he's been good for you guys for a long time. So
We might have to. We got to find something that ain't clicking. Especially listen, Chase Claypool, that pissed me off.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Bears fan, so thank you.
Oh. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt the heart.
Yeah.
Speaking of Claypool, I wanted to ask you, who's a guy that you kind of model your game after?
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson.
1000%,
Nice.
yes.
Megatron. Love
Quick
that.
answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
quick answer. That's he's the guy.
There was not a player more dominant than him in the red zone.
No.
Dude, like you put it up, it's his.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good answer.
Like, what about Nebraska are you like most excited about? Obviously, we got a ton of recruits coming in. I'm sure you're gonna have some sort of role right away. I guess what are you most excited about?
Man, the opportunity to play early, no matter where it's at. Mickey's talked about using me on both sides of the ball, because obviously I can be an edge rusher or a receiver, and he says he wants to keep me on offense mostly, but whenever third down comes, passing situation, I get one down. He said, then I got to come right back to So I mean, the possibility of scoring a touchdown and going to turn around, get a sack, like that's fun to me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there anybody in college football that does that plays both sides of the ball?
I mean,
not that I know.
Julius Peppers was probably the last person at Michigan.
Okay.
That boy was a
Yeah.
freak.
He was insane.
Yeah.
And didn't he
Travis-
return kicks too, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
know-
Jeez.
Yeah, he did it all.
Travis Hunter at Jackson State. He was the
Oh,
number
yeah.
one recruit. He plays, I think, mainly defensive. I think he plays corner mainly. I think he plays some wide receiver, but
He just had an insane catch. I mean, like, came back to it on a comeback route, got it, was stumbling, and hit a back juke somehow. That just flew. He got some Madden type, jukes. Like, it don't make sense what he do. Yeah, he's special.
we obviously talked about, don't know who the head coach is right now. How much harder, like, in the recruiting process does that make? Obviously, at Georgia, Michigan, Oklahoma, who the coach is.
Mhm.
Probably makes it easier to reach out, who's going to be there next year. I guess how much harder does it make the whole process just in general?
I mean, it wasn't really difficult for me because as long as Mickey's here, I'm here. Like, that's a kind of what it came down to. Yeah.
So things have been kind of rough for Husker football pretty much my whole life, and it's taken a toll on me. This year's been especially rough. You've talked about some guys coming in. We got some dogs coming in. Can you just give me like a glimmer of hope for the future? Convince me why we're gonna win the Big Ten next year.
We getting some linemen. Like when I told you we ain't doing my recruiting class, I meant that. We got to get some big boys up front.
Yep.
So that's what we got to start with.
Okay, yeah, and we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Love it. We're actually going to start a new segment ending these interviews. It's going to be called the BDB6, Boys Down Bad 6. So we're going to ask you 6 rapid-fire questions. Just answer, like, whatever comes to your head first. Answer it. We're going to try to learn a little bit more about you, okay?
Go.
Okay. What's your go-to pregame song?
Anything 21 Savage.
21 Savage. All right, that's good. Favorite athlete growing up?
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. Would you rather make a big-time touchdown or a big-time sack?
Depends on what point of the game.
Guys, help me out.
Tie game.
I'm scoring that touchdown.
Yeah. Love that.
And then getting a sack.
Most memorable sports moment you remember growing up?
Southeast game last year. Oh, wait. You talking about me playing or watching?
Let's do both. Watching first.
I was at the Husker game when Jordan Westerkamp caught the Hamburger against
Nice.
Northwestern.
I was at that game too.
Yeah.
Same.
That was awesome.
And then probably most playing memorable thing, Southeast last year. I was in trouble. I'm not even gonna lie. Like 15 minutes before that game, I didn't know I was playing. My mom was mad at me, but she let me play. That game I had like 3 sacks, 2 touchdowns, 15 tackles. I didn't even play the fourth quarter.
That's a decent day.
Yeah.
Not a bad day in the office.
Favorite non-sports related hobby?
Ooh, I like to read.
Like to read.
Oh.
Okay. What do you like to read?
Tim Graham used to be my favorite author. I've kind of moved on a little bit, so I'm kind of in the mystery murder type stuff now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, last one. Who's going to be the next Nebraska head coach?
I have no idea.
We thought we'd get you to slip.
Dang it. Close.
One more
Man.
thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have the NIL deal with Muchachos.
Mhm.
Kind of how did that process work? I mean, I know you reached out to NSAA to see what the rules were about that. How does that really work with NIL and still being in high school?
Oh, I mean, I called in and said, hey, I'm like, what rule? Like, what are the ground rules? Like, I know you just approved it, so don't try and tell me you got nothing. I was not trying to get in trouble for breaking anything. So they said they basically have nothing, just don't mention my high school and anything. I'm okay, that's easy. So, no, I mean, I could do anything except mention my high school for anything I do.
Okay.
So I got a couple deals going right now. I'm with ABM. But it's getting transferred over to 1890, so starting 2023, I'll be with Matt Davidson at 1890, which my contract was supposed to transfer over. I'll be fine with everything, so.
Nice.
Did I see you have like a burrito named after you or something?
Yeah, it's called the Giverito, I think.
The Giverito?
Yeah, and then all the proceeds from that go to the KVC.
Is that, and that's still going on?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
go
go
yeah.
to Machacho's.
Go to Machacho's,
Yeah.
get a Giverito. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Giverito.
It's big.
It's big?
Yeah, I like
What's
it.
in
Though.
it?
You got mac and cheese, and you got 2 types of meat, so you can choose from chicken, brisket, I think it's pork.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called, you know what a hatchback is, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's a hatchback, but you can choose 2 types of meat, so it's just thicker.
Nice. Did you get to make that?
I mean, yeah, he's like, do
Yeah,
whatever you want.
yeah,
At
nice.
first I was about to do lamb, because I'm like, no one do lamb. That's different.
Be a little different.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think I was in the mood, though, because I just say that something's kite. I'm like, this is it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Love it. All right. Well, we appreciate it, Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be rooting for you. Excited to watch you in Nebraska. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yep.